up, BC? I'm Brian. This is Shamrock'n Records. And today, I'm going to bring you a video that I've been kind of wanting to do for quite some time. It's going to be about a bunch of my favorite vocalists, a bunch of my favorite singers. When I started going back, thinking about who are my favorite vocalists, who are my favorite, singers, like, a lot of them have a common theme, a common thread amongst all of them. Blue-Eyed Soul. And for anybody out there that hasn't really heard the term Blue-Eyed Soul, basically, it's a term that was coined back in like the mid-60s for white soul singers. Alright, all the singers that kind of were trying to follow the artists that were on Stax or Motown, or people that were influenced and inspired by people like Ray Charles and Otis Redding and Sam Cooke. These white kids, in England, a lot of them, with a lot of the British blues, rhythm and blues kind of stuff, started coming along, and a lot of it was just inspired by soul artists. And when I think about it, so many of my favorite singers are Blue-Eyed Soul singers. So today I just kind of want to go through and highlight some of my favorites. Some of these artists aren't considered Blue-Eyed Soul artists. Some of them are considered rock artists, but they do Blue-Eyed Soul inspired songs. Some of these artists have just like maybe one record that's Blue-Eyed Soul. So I kind of just want to go through today and just highlight some Blue-Eyed Soul artists. So what we're listening to right now is the Small Faces. This is Steve Marriott, who ended up after leaving the Small Faces started Humble Pie. But some of these, this record is fantastic. His voice is incredible. Another early 60s artist, great Blue-Eyed Soul, Stevie Winwood from the Spencer Davis Band. This is a classic Blue-Eyed Soul record. Alright? There we go here. The first artist that was really coined Blue-Eyed Soul was the Righteous Brothers, which, I'll be honest, I don't have any more Righteous Brothers in my collection. I had a couple, and they weren't in great shape, so I kind of just sold them off and just got rid of them. I've been trying to just kind of pluck my collection of things that aren't in great shape, and just kind of upgrade the collection. So eventually I'll get some more Righteous Brothers, but I don't think it's essential for me right now. But they actually have a record called Blue-Eyed Soul, which after they were kind of coined Blue-Eyed Soul, they ended up making a record called Blue-Eyed Soul, which I think is pretty cool. I would like to get that record. So in this video, I'm going to mention more of my favorite singers. I'm going to try to do some needle drops for you of like probably newer Blue-Eyed Soul artists. And so I hope you enjoy. Alright? The next artist that I'm going to highlight is Eric Burdon. You notice a lot of these singers are going to have that kind of throaty, raspy grit, to their voices. This record here, Love Is, I don't think it gets enough love. It doesn't get enough love. But this is a fantastic record by the Animals. I highly recommend it. It starts off with River Deep, Mountain High. That in itself is a soul classic. So check that out, And another one, the best of if you don't have any animals in your collection, get this. You know, I know a lot of people aren't big fans of greatest hits records or, hey, look how young they were. It's insane how young they are. But a lot of people don't really care for the best of records, but I enjoy them, you know. And for me, I think a greatest hits record, depending on the artist, is all you need. But that's a whole nother video that I might have to do. All of my greatest hits records that I don't really need the rest of the collection of. I'm going to put another track on. I'll be right back. Alright, now that we got some tunes going, what I'm playing now is Rod Stewart, Twisting the Night Away. You know, so many of these artists just love Sam Cooke. You know, we just played Shake by the Small Faces. Now we got Twisting the Night Away. But Rod Stewart, man, he gets such a bad rep. You know, probably because of his 80s and 90s stuff. But man, this record is killer. And his stuff with Jeff Beck and the Faces, so great. You know, I actually just picked up a Rod Stewart record that I've been looking for. He's literally one of my favorite singers. Where did I put? Ah, here we go. I just picked up this here. It's an original German press on Vertigo. And it's just something I've been looking for a long time, and you just can't find it in the States. Now, in the States you can find this record. It's called the Rod Stewart album. It's the one that's like all like this yellowish gold kind of color, which I'm sure you see all the time, but it's fantastic. But Rod, I mean, I just think that Rod's voice is killer. There's just so many great singers from Scotland too, you know. It's like these great soul, white soul, blue-eyed soul singers. You know, we got Rod Stewart, and then we have this guy, Frankie Miller, who doesn't get talked about nearly enough in the vinyl community. And this is the single most artist that I discovered in the vinyl community that blew my mind. I will always have Frankie Miller, Steve, Flipside CT, Steve showed this years and years, not this particular record, but this artist, years and years ago, and blew me away. I just love Frankie Miller. His voice is very similar to Rod Stewart, similar to like Bob Seger. He also has this rasp. I'm gonna do a needle drop because you guys need to hear him.
I never saw you frown. You've changed, but I don't mind. Like a ship out in the ocean, we can leave it all behind. You've changed, but I don't mind. And all your eyes look inviting to me. Oh, your lips taste so true. Yes, I'm falling in love with the girl I used to know. Falling in love with you.
So yeah, that was Frankie Miller. Another Scottish artist, semi-newer. I mean, came out in I think the early 2000s. Was a guy named Paolo Nutini, who just, I believe he was like 18 years old, and he kind of got a start opening for the Rolling Stones, and kind of got him a little more popularity. But this kid, I don't have anything by him on vinyl. A lot of his stuff is not pressed on vinyl. But another Scottish singer who just has a killer voice. You know, again, similar to Rod, Frankie Miller. He's got that raspiness to himself. Another newer artist that's just fantastic is this kid Anderson East. Man, again, he's got this grit, this soul, and I'm gonna play a song by Anderson for you. Fantastic. So yeah, so that's Anderson East. You know, I've shown this next one many times in my videos, but it's because he's an absolute killer artist, and it's Eddie Hinton. This is one of the best blue-eyed soul records out there. Very extremely dangerous. I'm not gonna give a sample of this one because I have I think like maybe 2 videos ago I was spinning this. So, but Eddie Hinton, you know, played. He was a session musician who just played on so many great soul records. But he's got a voice like Otis Redding, this little white boy. Man, he's got so much soul and passion. He is incredible. And he does like Otis, he does an Otis cover of Shout Bama Lama. It's just insane. So check out Eddie Hinton. It's a fantastic record. You know, and I don't want to just stick with the men of Blue-Eyed Soul. You can't forget Dusty. This is right here. She's the princess of Blue-Eyed Soul. I'm not gonna call her the queen because we gotta call. Oh boy, where did the queen go? We know who the queen is, right? The queen, little Miss Janis Joplin, right? Ah, here we go. This right here is the queen of Blue-Eyed Soul. You know, and you don't ever really hear Janis get thrown into soul music, but dude, she's the queen of Blue-Eyed Soul. She's got more soul than anybody. But you know, and then there's the newer female Blue-Eyed Soul singers. You got girls like Jen Wigmore. This girl's fantastic. Amy Winehouse. I don't own anything by Amy, but she's great. You know, Adele. You know, Adele's a great Blue-Eyed Soul singer. Just so many. ZZ Ward. But back to the men, we got other new bands. St. Paul and Broken Bones. These guys are insane. They put on a great show, I hear. You know, I've seen live clips. I've never seen them, but this is the lead singer. He is fantastic. Looks like Drew Carey, but this guy has so much soul. Let me play something by these guys for you.
We ain't the fortune all over town. You got your limit, baby. How 6'11", 6'9", you got the I need you to pick up that telephone.
Now, some other newer artists that have come out in the last, I would say, 10 years is this guy Nick Waterhouse. You know, this is a straight up Blue-Eyed Soul record, and you know what? He also produces records. He produced one of those like newer psych bands, the Alalas. He actually has Ty Segall playing drums on this. I don't know if you can see. But this is great stuff. Let me play you something off of this. artist I want to highlight. His name is James Hunter. And I originally found out about James Hunter reading an article about Van Morrison. And Van Morrison was talking about this guy, mentioning how he's just like a great singer. So I checked him out. When this record came out, he was on, let's see, Hear Music, which I don't really know anything about. He ended up getting picked up by Daptone. And that's what we're listening to right now. But this guy does not have the grit in his voice. He doesn't have that smoky. This guy's more clean. He's like Sam Cooke. I mean, even the music. Kind of has like a nice little, like, I don't know, tropical kind of like, let's go to a beach, have a drink and watch the boats go by, you know? But just very great stuff. But yeah, this one's on Daptone, and this is the James Hunter 6. Very cool stuff. Now, I had mentioned earlier, you got bands that might not be considered soul. This band is not considered soul by any means. They're the greatest rock band of all time. But this is one of the greatest blue-eyed soul records of all time. Top to bottom. I mean, they got Mercy, Mercy. That's How Strong My Love Is. Satisfaction. One of my favorite Rolling Stones records. Top 3 favorite Stones records. But one of the best blue-eyed soul records of all time. You know, another fantastic blue-eyed soul, Joe Cocker. I mean, you guys have all heard what he did with this, with A Little Help from My Friend. Holy shit. He took a song that basically did not sound like soul at all from the Beatles and turned it into a soul classic. Yeah. And speaking of Stevie Winwood, we got Stevie on this record. He plays organ on this record. Fantastic stuff. Love Joe Cocker. The king for me of blue-eyed soul, Mr. Van Morrison. Now you know I can't play I can't do a needle drop with him. I'll get kicked off the internet. But I would say this is probably his most soulful record. Beat and Fleece is a really great folk soul record. But his band in the Street Choir, I mean, it just starts off with Domino and then goes into Crazy Face. I've Been Working is like this funk soul classic. Now I saw Van Morrison probably about 15 years ago in Boston, and he opened with I've Been Working, and holy crap, it was incredible. Another newer artist, Nathaniel Rateliff. You know, a lot of you guys know that song S.O.B. You know, but a newer soul singer who's just fantastic. And Eli Paperboy Reed, I've shown him before. I just love this guy. He's from Boston. Check this guy out. He's so good. Ray LaMontagne. Very, very much like Joe Cocker. You know, some of these songs, what was the first track? You Are the Best Thing. Man, he's got the horns, he's got the background singers. I remember the very first time I heard that song, I was like, holy shit, it's like Joe Cocker. He's just fantastic. Now, there's plenty more blue-eyed soul artists, and who knows, maybe I'll do another video. But I just kind of wanted to give a little brief synopsis of some of my favorite singers, and you know, this is the stuff I just love to go to. You know, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you guys listen to. But you know, I hadn't said anything yet about Steve Carlson. You know, I hope he's doing great. I know he's not doing great, but I hope he's okay. And I just I'm so thankful to be a part of the vinyl community and to see the generosity and the camaraderie that everybody out there has done and has given. And it really is a truly magical, special group to be a part of. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for supporting Steve. And, you know, he's a great friend to all of us. He's one of the nicest guys in the vinyl community. And I've reached out to Steve as many as you all have too. And, you know, Steve, if you are watching, which I'm sure you're not, you have so much going on, especially with all these Steve videos going on. You'll be watching Steve videos for the rest of your life. But, I don't know. Steve, if you are watching, my heart is with you, and if you need anything, please reach out to me. Everybody else, thank you for any new subs. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for thumbs up. All that kind of stuff, you know, it is really appreciated. And I look forward to that stuff. I'm not on social media anymore, so this is my social media. It's my only way to connect with you guys. So leave me a message if you want to chat. Alright? Other than that, thank you. Listen to some Blue Eyed Soul, and cheers.